Hey everyone, welcome to the Introduction to Stats for spring semester 2022. I am Professor David Jones, and I'll give you a little spiel about myself so you get to know a little bit about me. I know math isn't everyone's favorite subject, so I'm going to try to make it so that it's a little more approachable and I'm a little more approachable. And this gives anybody that's still coming in time to pop over. So I got a little PowerPoint for you. That's me, of course, and that's one of the previous places I've worked behind me, NASA. I am an alumni of COS. I graduated from COS, and I want to say it was 2011. I went to UC Merced for applied mathematics and physics and graduated from there with a 4.0, and went to UC Santa Cruz for grad school. I was working on my PhD, and I stopped a year short because I got tired of doing what I was doing. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But I have a master's from there in applied math and statistics. As a COS student, I was the first and only student that had an internship with NASA from COS. They had started up a new community college aerospace program. I was the only one to apply, and so I got in, and now they send about 7 or 8 students every year if people are interested. But I started at COS, so if you're interested in stuff like that, I can tell you all about it. Let's see, let's go to the next slide. I am a dog person. Nothing wrong with cats, but I prefer my pets to worship me and rather than not giving a shit if I'm in the room. Speaking of dogs, that's my dog. His name's Astro. He used to weigh about 3.5 pounds. He's a teacup Maltese, really small. For some reason, in the last couple months, he's decided he's going to eat like a regular dog, and now he's getting wide, like me. But his name's Astro, not like the Jetsons, if you know that reference. I like space, and so Astro was a good name. I like superheroes. I like DC. I like Marvel more. Superman was my favorite until I met Iron Man. I like Iron Man the most. Star-Lord's pretty cool. I like Groot. You know, Black Widow's pretty hot. Captain America, a little bit of a, he's a putz. All he does is throws around a metal disc. That isn't all that impressive to me. A lot of people like him. But those aren't the super people that I like the most. I actually like the boys the most. These are heroes is not the right word. They're super villains pretty much, or super people, I should say. They do their own thing. And that's a pretty good show. I like the boys. And you can see people that look like Superman and Batman and the Flash and Aquaman and stuff like that. They have a lot of similarities to DC characters. I did see the new Spider-Man movie, loved it a lot. I think it's one of the best Marvel movies out. I like to read. I like to read fantasy and sci-fi. This is the logo for the Wheel of Time book series. It is now on Amazon Prime as a TV show. Ooh, there's a chat message. There's a Wheel of Time TV show. For non-book readers or non-fans of the book, I've heard a lot of good things. If you like the books an awful lot, it's not really very much like the books at all. So that was a little disappointing, but I am an avid reader. I read shit all the time. I read, Robert Jordan wrote this, Brandon Sanderson finished the books for him. I've read most of Brandon Sanderson's work. Jim Butcher writes the Harry Dresden series. He plays a wizard in Chicago, which is kind of cool because they'll do like battle scenes. He'll fight monsters in Walmart and shit like that. Pretty fun book read. And right now I'm reading Larry Correa. He does the Monster Hunter International, which is pretty good. So I like reading. I got a Kindle. I read for like an hour every night. I want to keep my brain sharp as I get older. Let's see. Progress the screen. Why is it not progressing? Next. There you go. I like comedies. I like watching The Big Bang Theory. I didn't see it for the first 3 seasons or so, and till someone asked me why I wasn't watching it, because I was pretty much like the characters on there. I like all the same nerdy stuff they do. D&D, video games, superheroes, all that stuff. And I can read the math and science that they write on the boards. It's actually real stuff. I know the actors don't know what they're writing, but they have, well, one of them might. The lady that plays Emery Farrah Fowler is a PhD scientist. But I like comedies a lot. Right now I'm watching Home Economics with my wife, the Keenan Show, a couple others. I told you I like video games. This is from World of Warcraft. This is the Lich King. I played the original World of Warcraft, and I was the raid leader for Molten Core and Blackwing Lair. It was their biggest, baddest dungeons in it's called Vanilla WoW. And I was the raid leader, and you could take 40 people on a group dungeon that you couldn't see. And we would start with, we'd spend 8 hours on a Saturday to go raiding this dungeon. And the first time we went, we couldn't kill the guy, the very first guy inside the door. Like literally the first monster we encountered. Couldn't kill him after 8 hours. And within 6 months, we had the entire dungeon down in under 2 hours. And I was pretty happy about that. And especially since about maybe 20% of the people I knew were smoking pot and getting high while we were playing. How do I know? They would hold down their mic button on Discord or Vent, whatever we were using, and you could hear the bong rips going. The reason why I bring this up is, well, first off, I like playing video games and online role-playing games, stuff like that. Second off, I did use it to apply to NASA. When I was applying to NASA, they said, do you have any leadership skill? And I thought, well, I don't want to leave this field blank. Does playing World of Warcraft count? If there's anybody that's going to take this as leadership skill, there's got to be gamers at NASA. There's got to be. So I put it in, and I don't know that it was what got me in, but I was at Ames Research Center, which I'll show you about in a second. Out of like 200 interns when I got in, I was the only one that was in mathematics. They had a lot of engineers, a lot of biology, chemistry, stuff like that. I was the only mathematics person in there. So I think it got me in, maybe just because look at the stones on this guy. Look what he was willing to write down in his essay. This is a mock-up of this is a presentation of one of the buildings at NASA Ames Research Center. It's where I first worked. This is Sustainability Base. It's in Mountain View, which is kind of near San Jose, out in the Bay Area. It's about a football field from Google headquarters, which I got to tour. That's a fun story for a different day. This building is phenomenal because it's like one of those super green buildings. It generates all its own electricity. It recycles 95% of its water. The building is a smart building. The windows sense the heat and the air around the building and open windows to create the perfect airflow to keep the room at a nice optimal temperature. It didn't have air conditioning or heating, but it was always the perfect temperature inside. And I worked there trying to make it more efficient using programming on the electrical sockets. They recorded how much electricity was used every hour, and we tried to make improvements. That was my first summer there. I went there again, and I worked in the aeromechanics branch the second time. Aeromechanics is the governs flight. So at Ames Research Center, they have one of the biggest wind tunnels in the world. It's 80 feet by 120 feet long. It's super enormous. The sides of the building can open, it opens up super wide, and they can use a crane and lift a 747 on a crane and put it inside the wind tunnel. And then they blow wind with these mega gigantic fans that are like 50 feet tall fans. Well, no, there's not. There's maybe 20 feet tall fans that blow wind, and then they have little smoke trails from certain points to check wind flow and stuff. And they use it to test designs and stuff. It can get pretty expensive. So I was working on the programming side of that section. This is the blade of a helicopter blade. It's called an airfoil, and it's got some curvature. It's not straight. And it can also tip and tilt some. So it could, like the left side where it's rounded and not pointy, it can go up or down. And depending on what angle it's at and how strong the wind is, you get a certain amount of lift that lifts the helicopter up and a certain amount of drag that slows it down. And so we were testing angles of attack, or that angle of the blade, against certain wind speeds and stuff like that to see what would work. You can see different size squares. If I could zoom in, this is a PowerPoint thing, so you can't do that really. But the closer you get to the actual propeller, the more stuff's going on. So they have little tiny squares that's tracking velocity and viscosity and density and all sorts of things around it. And it takes a long while. NASA had a supercomputer and I was using it, and it would take 3 or 4 hours to run. And it wasn't all that exciting. It was super cool to think I'm using a supercomputer, but waiting around 3 or 4 hours kind of sucked ass. It really did suck. But the project was neat. And I found out that as much as I like NASA and all the things NASA does, and I'm fascinated as I am with space, I don't really have the patience to sit there and do some of the stuff they do. I'm not really like one of those types of scientists. This is what I did for grad school. This was at UC Santa Cruz. These are tubes of plasma in the sun, like solar flares. They have a different magnetic properties to them. And if with certain properties, they become lighter or buoyant in the fluids compared to the plasma around it, and they rise to the surface and they make those solar flares you see. And we were modeling it in a computer. This was my PhD project. And they had a supercomputer at UC Santa Cruz as well, not as good as NASA's. But their program, I could wait 8 hours and the program would come back and say it didn't run. Rather than telling me right away it didn't run, it would wait 8 hours to tell me it didn't run. And so I got frustrated. It took 2 years to figure out what was wrong with the program. I had inherited the program from someone else. And even though this is plasma in our sun, they had neglected gravity. So everything wasn't working because gravity was missing. By the time we figured it out, we got things working like this. But I was done with PhD. That sounded boring to me. The reason why it doesn't look like a tube and stuff like this is as it's rising up, the stuff on the top gets pushed down and makes these little swirls underneath it. That looks like the little legs underneath it. And as it goes up, more gets pushed down and gets less, spreads out more and more. But it was neat to study. Astrophysics. Technically I'm an astrophysicist. Kind of neat. I like eating. I like food. Mexican food's my favorite. I like pizza. I like Italian, Chinese, you name it. I can tear down some asada tacos, go through those big time. I like coffee as well. In a semester when we don't have pandemics, I tend to have weekend study sessions at Starbucks, but we haven't been doing that in the last couple years, and you know why for that. But I like coffee. This guy's my man. If you think he's Darth Vader, you're wrong. You get out. He's Lord Vader. I don't know. It's like Luke Skywalker and all the others on the show. They're a bunch of chumps. They're weak. Lord Vader was strong. I liked him. Palpatine was strong. I like the bad guys apparently. So that's me. A lot of people like Yoda though, and this is from one of the most recent movies. He did my words not, did you? He's talking to Luke and telling Luke, you kind of screwed up. I told you to teach how to be a teacher. I told you to teach people the Force, and you taught him everything, but the most important lesson is failure, which applies very much to this class. You guys will be going through problems and not know what. It'll take you a while to figure it out. You put in the answer in the computer. We'll talk about that. I'll show you that in a second. And it'll tell you you're wrong, and it won't tell you why you're wrong unless you read very closely. A lot of people close the window too fast, don't read it, and you think you're messing up. But if you look at where you made mistakes and try to figure out what went wrong, it's the best way to actually learn something. It's kind of hard to learn something if you don't fuck it up once in a while. So that's from Master Yoda. Everybody likes Master Yoda. I even like Master Yoda, even though he needs a little darker streak in him. I like this man, The Mandalorian. I like that show. It's pretty good. My mother-in-law told me at Christmas time it was back on, and she about got chokehold because that shit is not back on yet. I like The Mandalorian. This is the way. Speaking of masked people, I like this one. This is Samus Aran. This is Metroid. I told you I'm a gamer. This is from Metroid Dread. That's what I'm playing right now on my Nintendo Switch. I like Metroid a lot. I like Zelda a lot, which is this one, Breath of the Wild on the Switch. Yeah, it's on the Switch also. That one, all the downloadable content, there's 120 shrines, which are like little mini dungeons. I've done 119 of them, and I looked up the final one. It only spawns every 3 hours, shows up every 3 hours. You got like a 1 minute window to get inside it. And I don't have the patience to do it, to wait for it. So I haven't actually beaten the game. I spent all that time doing it. I cleared all the way to Ganon at the end and didn't go in because I wanted to beat the game with all completion. I'm one of those type of gamers, completionists. I do like that game. I did get the Master Zero cycle. I did all the stuff. I got it. A lot of fun. Is it coming out this year? Oh shit! Nice. Oh god damn! When is it going to be? This semester? Or is it going to be summer or fall? I gotta look, Gabe. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, then it's probably late if they haven't said. If it was coming out next month, they'd say. I'm also looking forward to Elden Ring. I like other video. Oh, that's why it's not moving. More hyped for Wonderlands. I have to look that up. Oh, the Tiny Tina or some shit.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
next game in the Borderlands franchise.
Yeah. Let's see. For my PlayStation 4, I have the PlayStation 3. It's in a box somewhere. I got like 30, 40 unopened games in the living room that I bought for cheap on Black Friday. I got the VR. Played the VR for a while. My wife laughed her ass off at me on the first one I played because you're in this shark tank and you're underwater and this shark attacks the tank. And it swims around you and attacks from different sides. So she saw me jumping and freaking out. I tried playing Skyrim VR for all of like 5 minutes and it made me sick, and I haven't gone back to the VR yet. That was a couple years ago. Haven't gone back because it was making me nauseous with the mechanics of it. And it's sad because I haven't played Skyrim yet. Everybody tells me it's a great RPG, one of the best, but I haven't played it. I do like Demon Souls and the Dark Souls series. I was talking with Eric about this earlier. Dark Souls 2 was my first one I played. I've done Bloodborne. I started Sekiro. You only ninjas die twice, or only die twice, or whatever the fuck it's called. The Sekiro ninja game. I played that one level, and I haven't gone back to it because I had it on a system I don't have anymore, or don't use anymore. I have the PlayStation 5 now. Been playing on that. I don't know how I got lucky and got that. Was getting up at 2 a.m. to troll Target and Walmart, listening to a feed that, like a YouTube channel where guy was helping people follow the stuff. So I managed to get a PS5. I've been playing that. Love the Dark Souls series though. So challenging. Steep learning curve, but very satisfying when you win. I also like The Witcher. Played Witcher 3 for like 120 hours. And I had beaten the game and was in new game mode. And I finally thought, the fuck are you doing? You got like a shitload of unopened games. Go play a new game. Quit playing this one. So, but I do like The Witcher. I like The Witcher 3 content a lot. I haven't played the other ones yet. I do like The Witcher TV show too. I think he's a better actor as this than in Superman. And which is cool because he's a gamer. Henry Cavill is a video gamer and he likes The Witcher as well. So hopefully he sticks with this over Superman. I like watching late night shows like John Oliver, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Seth something. Can't think of his name right now. TV shows, I like Lucifer. I was a big fan of Lucifer. I saw the first episode before it came out. I haven't seen Conan. I did watch Daredevil. I like Daredevil was decent. Are you talking about? Oh, there might be. Is there more than one Daredevil now? I remember it with what was his name? Yeah, I know there was a TV show. I don't know. It's probably the same one then. Yeah, yeah, I've seen Daredevil. Along the lines with what's her name? Super strong chick. Oh my god, I can't think of her name. She's a full-blown alcoholic, but she's super strong. She's got her own TV show. I haven't seen Hawkeye yet. That's on the list. Lucifer, Jessica Jones. That's what I was thinking of. I had watched Lucifer. I'd seen a bootleg episode of the first one before it came out, like 3 months before it came out. It was on TV for a couple years and then they canceled it. And I joined the hashtag Save Lucifer and hashtag I Love Lucy rant on Facebook and social media, and Netflix brought it back and finished the series. I was so grateful. I loved the show. I thought Lucifer was a great character. Let's see what else we got. Dexter Morgan. I love Dexter Morgan. I don't think the original series ended very well, and I'm really glad they came out with Dexter New Blood that just finished this last weekend. My wife and I finished it. Came out on Sunday, but Sunday 12 a.m. midnight, 9 p.m. our time Saturday night. We were watching that shit at 9:05. Tell you that. I like Dexter. He's a serial killer that works for the Miami Metro Police Department in the original show. But he's like kind of like Batman that doesn't stop at locking them up. He gets them killed. He kills them. Good stuff. Game of Thrones. I like dragons. This show's great. Don't watch it with kids. It's highly inappropriate. But great show. Ended bad too, I think. They rushed it. A lot of shows they rush at the end. They're like, they get too excited to move on to another project or something. I don't know what's wrong with some of these program producers. Guilty pleasure, Survivor. I watch it with my wife. We've seen every episode or every season except like the first season, maybe the second. I used to work for the Catholic Church at the Diocese of Fresno. It's the headquarters for the Catholic Church in like a 200-mile radius. And I did work in the accounting department there. I was an accountant, and I was the only guy with 8 women. And so one of the early seasons was guys versus girls, and we started wagering on it. And I don't remember if a guy won or a girl won, but me and my wife have been watching ever since. If you like Survivor, and if you just have Paramount Plus or something like that, look up Survivor Australia. That shit is bomb. The challenges are way the hell harder, much harder than the sissy US challenges. After watching them, like, these are simple. The challenges in Australia are harder, and they have when they have reward challenges and they bring out they bring out desserts. You're like, what the hell is that? What is that? And the people on the show are going crazy. I've looked up a few things that I didn't know what they were. I don't remember the names because they were weird names, but Australia Survivor is a fun watch. Why are you not going? There you go. The originals. I like watching some of the shows, like some of the drama shows with my wife. The originals, Vampire Diaries. I'm watching a Discovery of Witches with her right now. I like vampires a lot. If I could be a vampire, I would. I'd probably not be a very good vampire. I'm a big guy. I'd have a hard time catching prey. But if you're a vampire, you don't really need to sleep that much. People gotta sleep sometimes. So I think I could do it. I think I could, if I could live forever to see what the future held, I would be okay with killing people. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, there's my moral line. If it will let me live forever, I'm willing to go that far. Pixar, Lightning McQueen. I love all the Pixar shows. I put this on here because when I left COS, I was selected to be a Jack Kent Cooke Scholar. Jack Kent Cooke used to own the Washington Redskins before they were renamed as what are they now? Washington Football Team or some stupid shit like that. He owned the Washington Redskins, and when he died, he left all his money to students. And so like the scholarship now is worth $50,000 a year when you transfer. But I managed to get it. And one of the first people I met was an aspiring digital artist. He's now one of the lead designers at Pixar. So I think it's kind of cool to know people that do stuff like that. That's one of my I always brag about him. He does not know why. He's like, I am nothing special. I'm like, it says you make some cool shit, man. Indiana Jones, part of the reason I wanted to get my doctoral degree, Dr. Jones. I like the Indiana Jones sequence, except that what was the fourth one with the aliens? That was bullshit. Indiana Jones is a good series set though. Jurassic Park. If you hear me say clever, if you show up to the synchronous lectures and you hear me say clever girl to someone, I am referencing this. And it does not matter if you are male or female. I will say it if I'm impressed. I'll say clever girl and it's referencing this scene. I like the Jurassic Park sequences, the movies, Jurassic World, all that good stuff. You know, I like all the shit I did as a boy. Dinosaurs, dragons, superheroes. I haven't really grown up all the way. Back to the Future, the flux capacitor. I love that. I like time travel stories. I always think they're super fascinating. I like this show a lot, these movies a lot. I think we're getting near the end. That's Tiamat. Sometimes the rainbow tastes you. I like the joke. It's a play on the Skittles, Taste the Rainbow. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I actually DM on Tuesday nights right now online with friends that I normally play with in Fresno, but we switched to online during the pandemic. Tiamat's one of the big major dragons with 5 different heads with 5 different colors. So I am a gamer. Not just a video gamer, but an RPGer. Good stuff. Haven't gotten into Critical Role, but I imagine I would like it if I actually just took the time to watch it. They play for so long now. I got better things to do than watch someone else play. I like music. I like, this is the Rolling Stones logo. I like classic rock, but I will listen to most music. Listen to it for a while. I always, country, I like Garth Brooks. There's some music I like in country, but that's got a lot of, my dog died, my wife left me, my children hate me, and sometimes the order changes, but there's a lot of dark shit in country music. It's not all that good. I don't know. My wife likes it, but Buy Me a Boat is pretty good. The first time I heard that song was at the Grand Ole, what's it called? Grand Ole Opera in Nashville. I took my wife to it when we were touring the country, and the guy played Buy Me a Boat, and I was like, this is some catchy stuff. All right, so don't cheat. I'm not so much worried about it in this class, but I have recently found that it is possible to cheat in stats. There are websites that if you type in there's a lot of word problems in statistics, which makes it what's so hard to cheat. There are apps on your phone that you can take pictures of like algebra problems and it'll show you how to solve it. You can type in calculus problems and they'll show you how to solve it. But word problems are a little bit more, but I had someone cheat this last semester. Their final, they submitted an answer that was completely out of sync with all their other answers, which were like all bizarre. They were all over the fucking place. And when I was looking it up, I'm like, where did you get this? I copied and pasted the question in Google, and sure as shit, the thing that popped up was Chegg, and the first like 8 lines, I didn't even have to pay. I could see the person typed word for word, like copied and pasted the answer. So it is possible to cheat. Please don't do it. It's going to stand out because they always do it some complicated way. I'm going to likely catch it, and I'm going to be mad that I have to have a talk, and I'm going to be even more frustrated if you deny cheating when I know you did. Please just don't cheat. I don't want to have to report anyone. I'm generally very merciful, but frown on cheating. Having said that, I'm available all the time for help. I have office hours every day, Monday through Friday from 11 to 12. My Zoom room link is in the class. My phone number is in the website, so you can text me. I'm willing to meet people on Zoom over the weekends, in the evenings, if you make an appointment with me. Last semester, I met with a student at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays because that was the only time she could beat. She was a busy mother of 3 and had a full-time job, and that was when she had time to study statistics. So that's when I helped her study statistics, and she had the top grade in the class. So she was willing to do the work, but she wasn't afraid to ask, can you meet me at a weird hour? So don't cheat, just ask for help. We've got tutoring and online. The COS library has plenty of online tutors and in-person tutors to help you with statistics, as well as myself. There's a lot of resources. Having said that, if you work real hard and you talk to me and get the help when you need it, everyone in this class can get an A+, okay? Believe in yourself. Yeah, I got Discord too. I decided to do Discord this semester. I realized, you know what, I game a lot and I use Discord, and I know a lot of people that are, college age use Discord for gaming and studying now too. And so I made a Discord channel. I hope you all hop on it. We'll talk about that in a second. I think that's it. Let's see, exit. Yeah, that'll do for that. We could take a 5-minute break if you'd like. Let's see. Stop share. Does anyone want a break? Or you want me to just go through it?
I say just keep going.
Just keep going. All right, let's do it. Oops. Share screen. All right, so I have 3 stats courses this semester: 26734, 26735, 27166. The way we're going to do Zoom, I'm going to, in fact, right now, the 26734 has Confer Zoom as an option, but I'm going to take that off. That's what fucked up Zoom today. It generated a Zoom room that was unique for everyone, and I don't like it. We're just going to use Hefe Zoom room for classes in the future. They are optional. So I'm going to switch to another class and use what they have, so you can see it, because they don't see the Confer Zoom. And we'll look at it from there. So there's a little stuff to do for you. You should be doing this orientation module this week while you get everything set up. Introduce yourself is due tonight. You must do that. Please do that. Do not make me drop you for not doing that. The only people that have a little leeway on that is people that use an ad code. I'd still like you to do it because I'd like to, get to know about you, a little bit about yourself. So please take a look at doing that. But where a lot of the good stuff starts is at Zoom hours, coursework, and calendar dates. So here I talk about the office hours. It is 11 to 12. Oh shit, that says 12 a.m. Look at me fail. 12 a.m. is midnight. I need to check. Hold on. Astro, come here. Astro. Astro.
I thought that was a bird at first.
You would think I'm torturing him. You would not even know that's a dog. That is a dog. That's the one I showed earlier. You better fucking stop. Oh shit, I hit him. Wow. Good aim. Give me 1 second. Let me go check, make sure he's okay.
Anyone else think that was a bird?
I did.
Yeah, for a second.
I say, I hope I'm not the only one.
Are you related to Kelly Lawler?
Yes, ma'am. Who asked that? I can't see.
Nicole. Used to
Did
be
you have my dad
my
as a teacher?
yeah.
Yep, that's him.
Sorry about that. I threw like, it's a thing of toothpicks. It's like chapstick size. Forgot the dog. I think we think he's going blind. He stopped. We've seen him bumping into walls lately. And he's only like 8, but he did not turn his head when I threw that. Just I didn't huck it at him. I just lobbed it at him and hit him right in the forehead. Feel bad. All right, where were we? So someone knows someone's relative.
She had my dad as a teacher.
Oh. All right, Zoom. Okay, so the way we're going to have class is it's optional. Attending is completely optional. I'll tell you that right now. If you want to watch content asynchronously and don't worry about, don't want to show up to this, you can click on Hefe's videos and this is me, my channel. It'll take you to my playlist. Where is it? Beautiful playlist, Math 21, Intro to Stats. Entire semester is already here, just like I was feeling like if I would have done a regular semester. Okay. But I was talking to a wall, so there is no human interaction. And I tried to insert some fun and comedy because I know math can get boring. But you can watch everything that way. If you do like being present and being able to ask questions and interact like that, then we will be doing the Zoom on Mondays and Wednesdays, 2 to 4. I will go over all the same content that is available in these lecture videos. Okay. So let's go back to that. Back to the modules. My cell phone number is here. I mean, if you dial it, it will ring, but my ringer is usually off. And I don't even hardly ever check my voice. I'll all of a sudden realize, oh, wow, my phone says I missed a call. And I'll listen to the message. It'll be like my doctor telling me I had an appointment 5 days ago that I've already been to and stuff like that. I just didn't even know I got the call. Text, though, I check the text all the time. So you can text me if you want to meet up, or if you have a question. You can also do Discord. There is an invite to the Discord right here. That should be still working. And then just to get, if you want to get there quickly from any window, Hefe's house on Discord. Bam, take yourself over. And you'll pop into the Discord channel, and I check that not as often as I check my phone, but I do check it. And but other students will be working there, have questions as well. And I'm trying to build some communication between students. So much is gained from studying with others that it's hard to put into words how effective it is learning. Like, people are more willing to say, I don't understand something to another student rather than a teacher. Not sure why. I don't bite. I don't know of any math teacher that ever really did bite. But students are just, aren't necessarily as comfortable telling a teacher that I don't understand something, but other students, they are. So if you hop on Discord and say, I don't get this, can anyone say what's going on? There's a good chance someone will answer it before I do. So feel free to use the Discord, please. We talked about the lecture content. It'll be 2 to 4 o'clock. You can come here for it. Hefe's Zoom room. That should be the same link for everyone. It should be, and we'll record each session from there. Is this fucking saying it's recording? Yeah, it says it's recording. Okay. It doesn't have, oh, there's the icon. It doesn't show it when share screen's on. Okay. Like, I didn't have any icon that said it was recording. I got panicked for a second. So if you're not showing up for the in-person, you're watching the videos, it is like a lecture in class with a hard, it's kind of hard to put in a break when there's no, like, stuff like that. So please pause the damn videos. If you get tired, you need to do something else, pause it. If you got to go to the bathroom, you smoke, you go smoke a cigarette, pause it. If you want to try to do a problem or just get caught up on what you're writing, pause it. There's no, the only one you're hurting by not pausing is yourself. It makes it feel like it can be longer, but as one of the biggest benefits of lecture videos over lecture in person is that you can say stop and everything will stop for you while you do what you need to do, which isn't going to happen in an in-person class. You go to the bathroom, you get up and leave to go to the bathroom, you're missing some shit, right? The homework we're going to be doing is in MyMathLab. There's a link to it down here, MyMathLab link. When you get in, we'll go into it in a second. The MyMathLab program does cost money. It is cheapest to buy it through the actual website, but I know the school's been giving out money, and I don't know about book vouchers and stuff like that. So you can get it from the bookstore. But it has a built-in textbook in it that you can take a look at. It's got little mini videos that are much shorter than mine. The lecture videos I make will show you how to do all the stuff, mostly using the computer program, but I will show you how to do stuff by hand. But we have StatCrunch. StatCrunch is the type of software that MyMathLab uses to do all the hard work in statistics. Statistics has got a lot of complicated algebra in it. And the biggest complication is usually you're working with like 500 different entries and trying to do the same equation on 500 different things. Not only is so easy to screw up by hand, but it's boring and takes way too much time. Whereas you can, once you put it in a computer once, it can calculate all 500 in a millisecond. So we're going to be using the statistics software it uses. And I show in all of the lecture videos where it's applicable, I show how to use it and stuff like that. So that's one thing you'll have there. There will be a midterm after chapter 7. It doesn't include chapter 4. Chapter 4 has got a lot of graphing of stuff, and it's not really as important for the midterm, so it's not put in there. The midterm will be in MyMathLab, and you'll have plenty of time to do it. I have a calendar down below, but we'll talk about that there. The final is going to be on Canvas. The final, you do not need to use StatCrunch. I will do all the StatCrunch work for you. There is 10 questions, and your job is just answer the questions given the StatCrunch information. It's not whether or not you know how to use the statistics software, but whether or not you understand statistics in general. And so most people have found that I've spoken to that have stuck around say the final is a lot easier than the midterm for them. But you need to know how the stuff works on the midterm to understand the final kind of thing. We'll also be doing a project. That's the survey question I had. It should add content to it. Ooh, I wonder how many are in it now. It's going to be a little, we'll let that out after the midterm, like after chapter 8 or chapter 9, we do that. I'll put it up. You'll have all the data given to you. Your job is to answer questions. And you can use the stat software for that. Homeworks will be due at noon on Tuesday. I used to say midnight, but like people didn't understand like 12 a.m. They thought that was noon. And so I just started saying noon rather than 12 a.m. and picked there. I chose Tuesday because Sunday sucks. And then having everything due on Monday, you have like an extra day to ask questions on Monday. If you work on it over the weekend and get stuck, you got a Monday to ask me questions, and then it's due Tuesday. Midterm it's starting the week of, midterm is due. It's starting before that Sunday. I want to say it starts on Wednesday. I'll check the syllabus in a second, and finals later on. We do have spring break. The week of the 10th through the 15th. Please don't forget all the stats during spring break. So many students get you can be earning an A in any math class and have it drop to a C because you just stopped paying attention at spring break or Thanksgiving. and you end up tanking the final and stuff like that. I've seen good grades go to hell because students stop just too early. Spring break's here. The final is over on May 15th. It's just one more month. Hang in there. Okay. These are what we'll be covering on Zoom, the lecture content. So next Monday is a holiday, so none of the classes are around. And then on Wednesday, we'll be covering 1.1 through 1.3. They're kind of quick. There's not a lot of math in them. It's more of like vocabulary words, but we'll be doing stuff along there. Let's see, March 9th. What day is March 9th? March 9th is a Wednesday. So Wednesday at 12:01 a.m., the midterm will be available. That's early in the morning. So like before you wake up on Wednesday morning, it's available. And it will be available through March 13th, which I think is Saturday. I should have just checked that while I was there. Yeah, Sunday, 9th through Sunday. So you have till midnight on Sunday to do the midterm. That's, what is that? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days. You got a 5-day window to get started. Once you start, you can't stop. It'll start clocking you from there, and you got 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. But giving it a 5-day window allows for students with different schedules. If you got work or a family or both, or whatever's going on in your life, if you can find time in 5 days to do the test. That's for your flexibility, not mine. Same thing with the final. A final is going to be available for several days, starting at midnight. Let's see, when's May 12th and the 15th? 12th is Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday. So 4 days on that one. Okay. So for next in the module, is there any questions?
No, it's not in particular.
All right. Homework and enrolling in MyMathLab. Now, I've made a little video of how to kind of do it. Registering for MyMathLab. It's worth watching if you've never registered on MyMathLab. This is a handout that has the same like word for word instructions. You can, even if you don't have money for it yet, but you're getting paid in a couple of weeks, there is a 2-week free trial. If you go through it, I pointed out in the video where you can get it. Ooh, chat. I have no idea what Sienna is saying no to. Oh, no questions, probably. This gives the same description on how to do it, where it'll go and stuff like that. And actually has a direct connect to it. But you can watch the video about it, and that's where the stuff will be. I actually made a video as well. This should take you to YouTube.
My job is to make college easier because students have a lot on their.
Hello, students, and welcome to your MyLab math course.
Oh, I didn't make it. I linked someone else's. It walks through how to read MyMathLab. But I can take you there myself in a second. We'll go walk around in the MyMathLab environment in a second. Let's just continue here. Next is the syllabus is coming up somewhere. There we go. All 3 syllabi are the same. The only number of the things that are different is the number that is right here, the CRN number. Depending on what class you're in, we'll have a different CRN number, but nothing else matters. So for my stat lab, that's in the MyMathLab link on the left. It shows how to get there. That's the code that's typed in on the other window as well. I personally pledge to do my best to help you, each and every one of you perform at your highest level. I'm not going to give out A's. You're going to earn them. But when you've earned them, you'll be very proud of yourself for having done so. Everyone can do this stuff. As you know, it's a remote class. I don't know if anyone's looked through this or not, hopefully. Wednesday, January 24th is the last day to drop without a W on your transcript. And then March 18th is with the W. And it says how you can get a hold of talk between me and you, me and other students with Discord, Zoom, MyLab, Ask My Instructor. I'll show you that in a second. Stuff like that. If you don't have a laptop and you need to get one, they have loaners. Go ahead and contact the LRC for them. Please don't cheat. Grading policies, the lecture videos, we were just talking about how you can see them. It's on YouTube, or you can attend the meetings, and we'll do it there. The homework will be there, and I'll show you the homework. I'll take you there in a second and show you it, but homework will be 20% of your grade. I do have a policy I call leveling up, and I'll talk about that when we get down to the bottom of the syllabus. I like adding a little bit of gaming to school. It's concepts from gaming to school. So working on the homework, it can be pain in the ass. I'll be honest. Sometimes the answers, the only difference in the answers is a single word. Like one will say no and one won't, but it'll be like a sentence and a half long. It'll be a long sentence. Sometimes it wants you to be very, put down a decimal to 4 decimal places. And if you do 5, it'll tell you you're wrong. And you won't realize that you just entered the wrong number of decimal places. There can be a lot of annoying shit in the homework when you're entering the answers. So first thing you should do when you're doing the answers in the homework is just make sure you answer the question that they asked. Sometimes you think you are and you're not. They are word problems, so they are worth rereading a couple times to make sure you understand what's going on. I do encourage you to work with each other. You'll have access to the same problems. The numbers change and stuff, but the concepts don't. So each person will have their own stuff to work on, and you can work however you want, meet up. That's what the Discord channel is there for. There's voice chat and stuff like that, as well as you can the text chat where you can post pictures and stuff. The online midterm, we talked about that. It's going to be worth 30% of your grade. Homework was 20. I have given 2.5 hours. Many students don't take anywhere near that. If you've been working hard and studying and understand the material, you could probably get done with it in under an hour. But you'll have 2.5 hours. Crying is permitted on all exams as long as you don't interrupt the people around you. I added that to my syllabus after a student sent me that after the semester. I also have, I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Oh, let me turn off the background. Custom made water bottle that says "Cheers of my students," bought for me my first year of teaching as an adjunct. From the student that I swear, she looked like, who's the supermodel on America's Got Talent? Heidi Klum. She looked like Heidi Klum, like a young Heidi Klum. Sat in the front row, phenomenal student, got A+ in the class, but she always thought she didn't understand it. And so she was quick to tears. And I'd call, oh, please don't cry, please don't cry. And then on the first test, I brought her a tissue box. And it said, here's for your crying. And she had this custom made. It's starting to fade, but then a student last semester made this. It's a cross stitch that's going to hang in my office window at Tulare campus when I get back to school. Now, if you honestly think I am going to salt my food with tears of students, you probably should seek help. That's a little creepy and disgusting, but it is funny to me. I'm going to leave that up for now. Let's go back to the share screen. The project I talked about is going to be worth 20%. It'll be due on the Monday before the final starts. That way it gives me a little time to grade it before final. I get a stack of finals to grade. And then the final will be worth 30%. And it's 10 questions. It's much easier, I think. And so do students. And you'll have 2 hours to finish once you start on that one, but you'll have 4 days to take it once you get started. So leveling up, by the time you get to the midterm, if you've done 70% of the homework, you will level up. Leveling up means you'll start at level 0, you'll go to level 1, and you'll get 2% on midterm. If you have done at least 70% of your homework, it's 2% extra credit. And then the same thing happens with the final. If you have 70% of your homework done through the final, for the final stuff, you'll get another 2%. If you meet the criteria for both and you've leveled up to level 2, you'll get 5% extra credit on the final. Generally, I found the students that have done the 70% work on the get the 5% extra credit on the final have gotten an A without needing the extra credit. So doing the homework at least to the 70% mark for most students will have taught you enough. You'll be good enough when you get there. You have the study skills you need to get a good grade in the class. Regular overall grading. And here's that same calendar, but on the syllabus with colors. Red is holidays, yellow is drop dates, blue is spring break. But these are lists of the topics we'll teach. And the gray and the white is just to alternate colors so it doesn't look like a wall of text. And it's got when stuff will be done. April 4th, I'll put the project online so you can see it. And start working on it. It does have stuff from the very first chapter, but you won't really be able to finish the project until you've gotten through 13.1. There's part of it on there. I think that has 13.1. If not 13.1, like chapter 12, there's a question on there that's related to chapter 12. But you can get most of it done actually over spring break. Over half of it occurs before chapter 10. So if you work on it over spring break, you can get most of it done right then. Up to you. Here's the drop dates listed again. They're highlighted in yellow as the same as up here. And also our list of when the homeworks are due. And here's the fun list of topics and fun shit that we're supposed to put on syllabus. Stuff like that. It lists everything you're going to learn. All right. Any questions about that? All right. Before we head to MyMathLab to take a look at it, I do want to show you in the file section. For the lecture videos that have already been made that are on YouTube already, the papers I was writing on when I did them, I was using a document camera. And they're here. So as I took them, I saved them in a stack. And so if you're one of those that likes printed out notes and shit, that's my handwriting. This is what I was doing on chapter 1. And if you print them out or like that, or you have a tablet where you can download it and write right on it, you could download and add notes to it as you go if you want. But I made those available to you. They are in daily lecture notes in the file section over here. Files. Then daily lecture notes, and then stats. Other things you'll find handy is, let's go back to the main thing in files. If you look at useful handout, I think it's in useful handouts. Stats. StatCrunch Tech Help. This is the stat software that MyMathLab uses. And this is a little bit old, so something might have changed. But if it has, I don't know about it. It's only 12 pages. You can download it, have it on your computer. It tells you how to do stuff in StatCrunch based on the section you're in. And it goes in order. Okay. So and it tells you step by step on what to do. I go through these steps in the lecture video, but here's a little summary for you if you like to use stuff like that. It can be handy. That is in useful handouts and statistics in the file section. So files, useful handouts, stats. Let's see, important documents. Has the syllabus. Oh, I didn't do the opening day questions. I'm not worried about it right now. I have the introduce yourself, so that does the same thing. Also in the useful handouts, which I don't mind if you use on the midterm, is the stats, formulas, and tables. You won't need the formulas that much, and not a lot of it you do by hand. When you open it up, you'll see. Oh my God, there's the dog again. What is wrong with him? Astro! Let me stop yelling, that'll work. It's got formulas, and look at how ugly this shit is. Giant square roots with fractions within fractions. We'll go over what these symbols mean and stuff like that, but StatCrunch does all this stuff for you. So I'll show you how to do it by hand, but your work will be mostly by computer. Reason why is, let's face it, if you get a job where you're doing statistics, your employer is not going to have you doing it by hand. If you're working in research or something like that, you're not going to do statistics by hand, but you should know how it works and where it's coming from. So it's got formulas and stuff like that. These are pretty handy. The probability equations, those you'll use on the midterm for sure. We got a good section on chapter 5 videos. I like chapter 5. I like probability leads to topics like gambling and poker and craps and dice and stuff like that. I like probability. Something you'll use a lot, or it'll pop up frequently. Where is it? Table. It's the critical value tables for coefficients. You'll come up with problems that ask you for the critical value. And in the beginning, they give you the table as a link in the problem. And I'll show you that in a second, or stuff similar where you'll see it. But in the later part of the semester, they stopped showing the link for a second for some reason. I'm not sure why. This document has the same table. Just keep in mind, you can look it up. And you'll be finding that critical value, the CV, based on N, which is the number of people in the sample. So there's some tables you can look up, some formulas. The ugly stats tables that they do, screw this random number generator. I hate that crap. There's better ways to generate random numbers. We're not using this table if you've seen them before, the giant normal or standard distribution tables that go on forever. We're not using those. StatCrunch does it all. Now to go look at StatCrunch and MyMathLab. So when you come over, once you've registered and done all that, as I show in the video on the homework page where in Canvas, I have a short video on registering if you've never done it. Once you've registered, you click sign in. Usually it'll save your info. It's an important thing I should tell you, and I hope I pointed it out in the video. Sometimes when you go here and you're trying to do stuff, none of this shit will open up, but something will appear up here in the upper right, like a little red X or something like that. It means you've got pop-ups blocked. That is one of the biggest offenders for blocking access for students. Once you figure out what it is, though, you should be able to right-click the thing that says it and say, enable access, enable pop-ups for this site. Once you do, everything should be fine. You'll only see the courses in MyMathLab or Pearson that you're in. These have all my courses. We'll just hop down to the active student course where y'all are at. Well, 28 of you are at so far. And walk through there for a little bit. So some things you'll look at, the assignments and StatCrunch. I recommend before you get started on homework, especially later on, just come over here and click StatCrunch and say, visit the StatCrunch website. Sometimes it glitches when the login credentials don't get passed over right away. If that's the case, just hit refresh or reload and then open StatCrunch. I'm not going to walk you through using StatCrunch right now. It's handy to get open ahead of time because sometimes accessing it later on, it can be a pain in the butt. Having it open on another tab means you can just copy and paste stuff here. which is handy. Your grade book will show you how you're doing on all this stuff. And right now I haven't worked on any assignments. The problem is it will only show you assignments you've started on. So if you haven't started, if you don't do any work, it's going to say you've done 100% of everything you've tried. And as you start to do work, if you don't do 100% on that assignment, your score will drop. And that's because it's only dropping to account for the problems you've worked on. Until something has a due date, then it should include everything, whether you did it or not. Where you're going to go for your homework is the assignment section. And this will be where the MyMathLab is and stuff like that too. I do have links to the videos I made in YouTube. They're in here as well, if you forget. Everything that says optional is optional. It means you don't have to do it. Okay? If you watch the lecture videos and then do the homework chapter 1 or everything that just says homework chapter, those are the only assignments that are graded. All the optional class stuff that Hefe's videos, if you click on that, not graded. It does give you extra stuff to work on to help learn the material though. Some people find it very, very helpful. In fact, the guided notebook, I think, is used in the interactive statistics. If you print these out, and then it's an activity manual, you just got room to, you know, if we look at, let's look at probability real quick. It's got room to write stuff and things like that. It'll say where stuff is coming from. They will use these problems in some of the stuff you see on the interactive optional set. And so it can be handy if that's your cup of tea. But if you just want to watch my lecture videos that I made, you don't need to do that. Just watch the videos, which you can get to here or through YouTube right here, Hefe's videos, or attending Zoom lecture, of course. Let's take a look at one like that homework things. I'll go to like chapter 3's got a lot of stuff. Let's check that out. So you'll have a few problems. Different questions have different stuff. Some of the beginning ones are easy. I just want to give you an example of what you can expect when you see it. Oh, this one's like some of the questions are one shot only. You can't retry them because like there's not very many options and they don't let you just guess through the letters. So I'm going to pick a different one to look at real quick. Okay, this one has a lot of them are word problems. You got to read the question, which means you got to understand what it all means. And then if you see something like click on the icon to view the data table, usually this shit's important. Click on it. It'll give you a bunch of data, which you could try and copy and paste over. Let's see if I can get it to highlight well. I don't want to highlight well. You could get it, type them all into StatCrunch one by one. Or when you have this option, look for this symbol right here. Click to copy table. It will give you an option when you click on it to where to copy it. Do you want to copy it in your clipboard so you can paste it? Do you want to open it in StatCrunch? If I click open in StatCrunch, it's typed all the numbers for me. Look at that. So rather than typing 50 numbers and having to double check them 2 or 3 times to make sure I didn't mistype a number, that could save you 10 minutes right there, just from not having to type it in. So look for that logo right there. It looks like the window on window logo. Okay. Look for stuff under the question like that. It may not say data table. It may say other things, but there's often a spot that has it. Sometimes they put the little link down here when they've got like parts A, B, and C. You will find problems that go like through A through J. They get ridiculously long, some of them, but the questions are all linked material. Make sure you pay attention to where it wants you to round to. Okay. Let's see if I can, let me annotate real quick. So if it says 10th, you're just doing 1 decimal place. 100th is 2 decimal places. You only need 2. 1, 2. 1000th is 3. This is hopefully a reminder for y'all. 3 decimal places, 3 numbers after the decimal. They want you to round to that spot. When you're rounding, you look at the next number over. If this is a 7, I would round the 7, make that round up to a 2, and I would say 0.2. If it was, so that happens if it's 5 or greater, round up. If it's less than 5, like 0.14, 4 is less than 5, I'm going to leave the 1 alone. I'm just going to chop off the 4. So that's a quick refresher in rounding. And it'll do that. And sometimes they will say, they'll go, I think they even say 10,000. And 10,000 is just another decimal place. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So pay attention to that. That is, if you get the answer wrong, at least 50% of the time, that's why you got it wrong. You rounded to the wrong decimal place. Or you rounded to the right decimal place and you rounded the wrong direction. Do not do this. Do not have like 0.149 and it says round to 1 place. Don't round the 9 first and go, oh, that's 0.15. And then round the 5 and go, oh, that's going to make me round up to 0.2. Don't do this. This is wrong. If you got 0.149 and they want you to round to 1 decimal place, this is 1 decimal place. You look at the next number. You do not do a bunch of rounding beforehand. Okay? So those are your pro tips on rounding and where most of your mistakes will come from when you're doing homework. Sometimes they will have stuff here in the question. And when they're, like, especially in the probability, when you get down to it, they're wanting you to do the probability of the opposite group. Like if it's someone has air conditioning or someone has central heat and air in their home and they tell you like 500 out of 700 have it, they'll give you that number and then they'll say, what percentage of people don't have central heat and air? So you can't use the 500 because that's the wrong group. Pay attention for stuff like that. Let's see what other types of questions that pop up here. Notice they give me the numbers here. Look at that. They slipped that little window sign into the sentence. So sometimes it's not easy to see. I'll look for it, but it'll copy everything over for you. Open in StatCrunch. There's a lot of drop-down questions like that. Let's see if I can find one that's really annoying. This has the copy stuff over, much easier than pasting it by hand. You will see questions where they want you to fill in multiple spots, and sometimes reading them can be a pain in the ass. So you take those questions a little bit slower. You always have some options for when you're doing a problem. This should have them. View an example is a great option. It's going to show you a problem that's very similar. Notice it's got traditional and flipped like the original stuff does, but where this one says 72.5, this says 70.4. It's got the same type of problem with different numbers. And they can walk you through how to do this and walk you through how to do it. But the problem is a lot of the times they'll show you how to do it by hand, which isn't necessarily all that helpful, but it may give you an idea if you've been paying attention what to look for. This mentions range. We will teach you how to find the range in StatCrunch. So stuff like that will pop in. Another option you have is help me solve this. Help me solve this. If I do this, notice that the numbers are the same. 70.4, 70.4, 68.8, 68.8. It's going to prompt you for, it's not going to tell you what the answers are, but it's going to prompt you with like hints on how to go through it. And when you get through it, when you're finally done, that question is not going to count towards any part of your grade. You'll want to do, when you're done, down here, it will show, let me put the marker down. Let's see, annotate. When you're done with the question, somewhere down here, you will see either next question. I don't know that they show that. I think that normally says that when they get, it says good job. It'll tell you that you did a good job or excellent work or something like that. And you'll have the option of clicking next question here, or down here, if you close this box, like cancel it out, it will say similar question. Similar question will pop you up a question just like this with different numbers. So I recommend if you do view an example a lot or help me solve this a lot, click on similar question and try to do the questions without it. If you go through all of the homework and use that help me solve this or view an example, it's kind of like tracing the Mona Lisa. You didn't actually draw it. And when you get to a test, the help me is not there. But while you're working on the homework, it's there. The final thing I wanted to show you is if you do this, get more help, ask my instructor, check out what this does. So it's going to send me an email here. And you can tell me, like, if there's parts A through J, let's say, I see an A here, so there's a lot of parts probably. Mr. Jones, I'm stuck on part C. This is what I'm doing. Maybe tell me what you tried to do. What am I doing wrong? And click send. And close. And now let's note those numbers. I'm going to go over to my email and show you what happens from my email. Let's see, where is it? Really? Come on, reload. It knocked me out. This is rude. Oh, looking at it. No, it should be sending it there. Damn it. There we go. That code will be good once. All right, now. And I'll come over here to my email and I'll show you what it emails me. So I got to ask my instructor question. It gives me a link. It has the question I typed, Mr. Jones, I'm stuck on part C. It tells me what you said. And when I click on this, it takes me to the exact problem you're working on, the exact step that you're on. So I can see the exact question, exact numbers you're working with. Ask my instructor is a great way to ask me a question about going forward on a problem. And I do check my email even on weekends and evenings and stuff like that. So it's a great way to ask for help. So those are the things in there. Other thing to show you in here, multimedia library. This is where they have a bunch of snippet videos and stuff like that. You can tell what chapter you're looking at. Let's say you're looking at probability. And you're looking at, ooh, let's go with addition, rules, and complements. Do select all, and it's got a bunch of content available for you. Generally, the videos are short. This is only 7 minutes. So it can refresh your memory on how to do it. Example videos are all short, and they can be helpful. So that's another resource to your learning. So that's where you'll see everything. Assignments are here. We were just there. You cannot see it yet, but the midterm will show up here. After chapter 7. Right when we get close to that date, the midterm practice will pop up. I will have a practice test on StatCrunch or on MyMathLab for you, where you can practice it. It does give you multiple versions of the question, so it's worth taking it a couple times to try it in different ways. But then the midterm will pop up on the date that it says on the calendar. So you can't see it until the day it shows up. Okay. Let's see, am I missing anything? We covered the modules. We covered the Zoom room, the Discord, the videos, the files. If you need a refresher on algebra, there's a couple refreshers on algebra here. Professor Leonard also has algebra stuff. A lot of students like him because he's got the Superman Jerry curl on the front going on. He's got the Superman look. Show you. And does he have statistics? He might have statistics. Yeah, he does, but I don't think he's doing StatCrunch or the software we're using. So he'll show how to do stuff by hand.
You might have seen videos like this before.
All
But
right.
here's the big secret. Anyone can make one of these videos in a few minutes.
Well, good morning. I hope you are doing good.
People like
today
him.
We are going to start with statistics. We're going to start pretty much
Okay.
with
So that's optional for you. Back to this. COS MyMathLab. Where does this take me? Why did I call it that? Oh, making an appointment for tutoring. This is a way to get you to the link for it. There's also reminders on doing decimals and rounding and stuff. There's videos here for the basic arithmetic stuff that you might not have done for a little while. There's some good YouTube videos here. My videos are linked here also for like Math 21 is linked here, as well as my algebra course and trigonometry course. But you can also over here do appointment with academia. This is the tutoring for online tutoring. So it'll say how to make an appointment using academia, and you can sign up for an appointment. The hours that I am in the online support are, where are they? It's on Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m. I'll put this in Canvas. I haven't done it yet. We just picked our hours recently. Thursday, I'm available from 1 to 5 p.m. And Friday is 10 to 11 and then 2 to 4. This is AM, this is 2 to 4 p.m. However, having said that, I'll leave that up there for a second if anyone's writing it down. Almost every single person that's in that online tutoring session, they're available all day. And if you're looking for someone that at a different hour, almost every single person there knows how to do statistics. In fact, I think when you're making an appointment for academia, it will ask you which class you're looking for an appointment for. And you might have to put Math 21, something like that. But if you type it, it will tell you all the tutors that are available for that day and that week that are certified, know what they're doing in that section. Well, certified is not the right word. They either teach the class or they've got an A or A+ in the class and know what they're doing. So that's some access to that. And that's about it. That's my spiel. Welcome to statistics. If this is your first semester at COS, welcome to COS. I don't bite. I attended COS like you. I came back to teach here like you. I was very, very happy to, one day when I started teaching Algebra 2 was the first class I took here. They don't even offer it anymore. Algebra 2 was like upper high school math. I didn't come back to school until I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And even though I took calculus in high school, I couldn't remember shit. So I took Algebra 2 here, started there, and worked my whole way up. Came back here to teach, and the first time I taught Algebra 2, the first thing I said is, I was but the learner, now I am the master. Straight from Lord Vader, bam. Peace out. That's it for this presentation. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
So how much of like cosine and all that will be involved?
How
As
much
far
is
as-
cosine?
Like equations like those?
There's nothing that has like cosine's a trigonometry thing. We won't have anything like that. The worst you'll have is square roots and stuff like that.
Ah, sweet. I will say I feel pretty confident in math, but geometry, man, that set me off.
Yeah, there's no geometry. There is some graphing of lines. Where's my calculator? Let's see, let me turn off this background. I can do everything in this class on this simple calculator, which does not do statistics very well. All I use on this calculator is like the arithmetic part, square root. These calculators tend to have something called, let's see what shows up, NCR, and NPR is above it. That's in probability, chapter 5. And many phone calculators do all that stuff as well, which makes the stuff shorter. But no, you don't. You got squares, functions that have squares in them, and then square roots.
All right, I
Any
feel
other
good about that
questions?
stuff.
What, Eric?
I was just saying, I feel good about all that stuff.
Good. If you don't feel good, do not be afraid to ask. Like I showed that link to the COS Math Lab. It does have links to a lot of the original or the arithmetic stuff. Dividing, fractions, stuff like there's fractions, percentages, decimals, all that good stuff that a lot of people just don't use that often and forgotten how to do. You can always refresh there. Any other questions?
I have a question. Besides the level
Say that
Can't
again.
hear you, dude.
Yeah, your shit's got feedback.
give me a second.
Or if it's a short question, you can type it in chat.
You sounded like a battle droid, my boy.
Right? So you can type it here in chat, or you can type it in Discord, or however you want. I'll assume you're typing right now and wait for you. Is there any other questions while he's typing? Oh, all right. Well, we'll wait a little bit longer, see if he's typed something out, and I'll answer it, and we'll go from there. The extra credit, there is the stuff from getting the homework done. And it gives you extra credit on the exams, which is the biggest chunk of your grade. To be honest, the midterms and final add up to, I think, like 60% of your grade. So extra credit does apply to those. There's some extra credit. What I tend to do with the homework scores is because you'll see when you get there, when you're working on the homework, some of the questions you're like, this is bullshit. This is the bullshit question. And you'll either get pissed off or you'll do it wrong. You get a couple parts wrong and it'll have like 10 parts A through J, and you're like, I don't want to do it again, I tend to lower the cap that I round or divide out of. So let's say there was 100, or let's say there's 315 points by the time you get to the midterm on the homework. I will make like the total out of 280 so that you have some leeway in missing questions on the homework. Does that make sense? That's how extra credit will come in most of the way. And that's how you do it. And then there's the leveling up stuff that's in the syllabus. No problem. All right, if there's nothing else, have a great semester. I hope see you guys on the Zoom meetings. If I don't, email me when you need help, or if you got questions, or if you just want to shoot the shit. I like a lot of the same stuff many of you guys do, so there's that. That's it. Have a good day. Oh, let me hit stop record.